for your weekly dose of pop culture
with Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Nothing is working. Nothing is working. Welcome. It is Saturday night. It is time for Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. And now it's just up to me, Kathy, to explain why I am explaining it alone. Kitty was on and we were doing our pre-show and, just checking all the things. Things were working, things were fine, things were flowing, as they say. And of course, right when I put on the pre-show music and we're getting ready to come live, boom, nothing's working. Nothing's working. And we're streaming kind of like a good half hour later than our usual 8:30 start time, partly because Kenny was away. Okay, I think he's back, and I'm not sure if sound and everything is working, but we will see once again. Kenny Walker, welcome to the stream. There you are. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Are you with it? Kenny, can we hear you? I know I see him on the screen, and evidently he doesn't have the bells and whistles. What's up, my brother? My brother from the same mother who's celebrating a birthday today. So happy birthday to our mother. Hey, I got picture, but I'm not hearing any sound. No sound. Kenny, can you hear me? I mean, I got the lo-fi in the background, and but I don't have any sound. And we had sound and everything going earlier. It was a vibe. And of course, soon as I hit, let's go live, boom, nothing happens. Well, here's what does happen. On Saturday nights, we started during the pandemic, just kind of on Facebook. I was kind of doing a recap of 80s music and movies because that's probably my true love and my true passion. And I was just realizing, because the other day I heard like Red Light from the movie Fame. And then later on that day, when first day of school driving home, I heard the song Fame, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to pull out Fame and watch it again. And I realized that movie was released in 1980, which is over 40 years ago. I'm not old enough to have a favorite movie that's 40 years old. Am I? But evidently I am. And again, just I love that movie. Absolutely hated the remake. Totally. Kenny, I see you. You're not really frozen. You're a little spotty, but I can't hear you. And it's showing me that your mic is muted, and I'm not muting it on my end. And I know that's something that I can do, and I know it's something I have done in the past. I will not lie. I've muted my brother on many an occasion. But right now I'm not muting you, but yet your mic is saying mute. So I don't know if there's a connection that's going to foul, or if your computer is just not living the life you want it to live. Hey, Steve is in the house. Steve is in the house, and now he's out. He's just kind of leaving me hanging. Are you going to leave me hanging? But I guess he is. So I got to wing it while he, I guess, reboots or does whatever he needs to do. What we do is usually talk pop culture on a weekly basis. Like I said, during the pandemic, there was a good almost 2 years that I didn't even get to see my brother. Not that we see each other a lot. We're like north and south. I mean, I'm in North Carolina. He's in South Jersey. Or is that south and north? Or in any case, we hadn't gotten together in a very long time. And this Saturday night was our get together, was our hang. And I I'm trying to remember because there's like 2 years difference between us. So for 2 years, life was golden. Okay, it was all about me. And then we had this little baby that we found in a trash can in front of the house. So I got a younger brother. So if you are an older sibling, you know that feeling. In any case, uh, we, uh, I mean, he's my younger brother. I love him. I do. My earliest memory of him, um, no, it wasn't me trying to flush him down the toilet, but evidently that's family lore. It might have been something I tried. I don't remember. Uh, but I do remember we had a basement, and it was like, with the different color paneling. Oh my God, you got to go back to the like late 60s, early 70s to really vibe what I'm saying. But in any case, my parents were having a party, down there, and it was adult party, cool music, and blah blah blah. And we were supposed to be upstairs, just like watching TV and falling asleep and doing what kids do. And we were watching TV, and it was like some variety show, and the Everly Brothers were on, and they were singing this song called Kathy's Clown. And my brother got so upset. He tore into a fit. He went crying downstairs to the party, interrupting or whatever. And he's crying and all upset. My mom's trying to calm him down. What's wrong? What's wrong? He's all upset. That man, he's singing about Kathy. And he was crying and all upset. And basically, because was it the Righteous Brothers or the Everly Brothers? I'm pretty sure Everly Brothers were singing Kathy's Clown. And evidently, in my brother's world, I was the only Kathy, and they weren't allowed to sing about me without his express permission, evidently. But let's see, he's back. So let's see if he's back. Are you back, my brother? Are you back? He's back. In the private chat, I got a note that said, I'm back. I can't hear you, though. It looks like you're kind of frozen. We're hoping he's back. I was just telling the Kathy's Clown story, which I don't know. That's what happens when I got a riff by myself. And so just know that is going to happen when I'm left to my own devices. So, and I know I feel badly too, because I haven't gotten the repair kit yet for the MacBook, because we talked about that last week. I had this MacBook. Oh my goodness. Did the MacBook do it? I just put this in the frame, and all of a sudden it was like, boom, he's gone again. But this was a MacBook Pro that I got for a fairly good price. 2015 MacBook Pro. I don't know how it got this dent. There is a dent in it, and you can really see it when you open the screen. It is clearly dented. I can tell you, see that dent right there? I don't know if I had to hide my face to see it better. It was not dented when I gave it to him, but evidently. But even when I put the charger on it, and I let it sit for like a day, I was still getting a battery sign. So in my mind, that means it's a bad battery. I was hoping to replace the battery. And then we talked about this last week, that I'm going to replace it and actually record myself. I got to figure out how to get, like, I have a boom pole kind of thing going here. Let me see if I can drop that down. I have a boom mic on it. Me doing all the things. Okay, Kathy, what are you doing? Anyway, okay, so yeah, there's a boom mic on it, but I was actually going to take this mic off and put and mount a camera on it, and that way I can hold the camera over my table, which right now is a hot mess. And you watch these YouTubers and they have these fancy wooden tables. You know what I'm using? I'm using like a catering table, an 8-foot catering table that is actually serving my needs and allowing me to sit two monitors and my Rodecaster Pro and basically do the stream. All right, I see Kenny is back again. Um, and this, at one point, I was trying my hand at using um, just like a boom mic kind of situation, but I was getting so much echo. So evidently, I wasn't doing it correctly. So bye bye to the boom. Um, Although I don't know, I don't want to give up on this boom. It's a Technica um, AT875R, and so it might not be the right mic or the best mic. But yeah, I don't want to. I'm not bagging this bad boy yet because I'm wondering if I might even be able to mount it like on one of my cameras or something. So, but anyway, that aside, let's see. Kenny's back. We're gonna try again and see if I can make it happen. So I'm bringing him back in, and this happened before. It was black for a minute, and oh wait, I hear him. Kenny, I hear you, my brother. Oh, yeah. We were just talking tales of a MacBook. I was just talking a little bit about um, all the crazy things I'm going to try to do with installing a battery, and I hope I can do it, and that fixes the problem. But because if it's a more intense problem, my little $89 fix might not work, and then if that's the case, I don't know. We'll have to go another route as far as trying to get you a system that'll work. Now, you're back. I see you, but I don't hear you.
You hear me?
Oh, yes, I hear you. I hear you. You're not moving, but I do hear you. You got a little bit of freezing, and that could be, just slow internet speed. Who knows?
I am so fed up with this computer. You don't know.
How old is it? What are you rocking?
The degree of me being fed up with this computer.
Yeah, what kind of computer? Hey, Ed is in the house. Ed Brown is in the house. We missed you last week, Ed. Ed, we need to make you our convention correspondent. I love, and if you guys don't tune in, you need to check out Ed's awesome 80s page. But I love seeing the photos of him at the conventions with the folks. So Kenny, what are you rocking? Is it a Windows? And are you up to is it Windows? Are we on Windows 10 now or Windows 11? It's Ed and it's Steve. Anyway, Katie, I don't know whether you're gonna. Are you? Okay, I can hear you. So, Kenny, we're rocking the dead air. What'd you say? Talk to me.
Get a MacBook.
Okay. I don't even see how in the world we can make this
I'm going to get
work.
a MacBook. Yeah,
I don't think we can make this work. I mean, we can call it. I mean, hey, we tried. We made the effort. We will come back next week with the pop culture news. I also want to do a show on season finales because I really want to talk about some of the best I'm sorry, not season finales, series finales. I know The Walking Dead is coming up in its final season, and I feel like I need to go back and watch because I kind of they lost me during the pandemic. They did lose me. Mash, Mash was a good one for a series finale. I talked a little bit too about Saint Elsewhere was a show I loved, and I sat and watched that season finale, and I was all into it and all the different like references. How move the gurney, um, and just enjoyed it. But I didn't get it, and Kenny, who never watched, oh, he is gone again. Oh man. Okay, you know what? Our next stream is just going to have to be the Buy Kenny a Mac fundraiser. We're just going to do a 24-hour stream just to pull in support for Kenny and getting him a decent computer. Happy Days. I would have to go back and watch because, like most people, I don't even think I was watching before. I think I had Happy Days had lost me long before they even jumped the shark. So I don't even remember their series finale. So yeah, next week, initially we were planning a little beach trip, but it's gonna rain, so that might not happen. Um, uh, Good times, good times. I think they wound up leaving the I'm pretty sure they leave the projects. Wasn't that the big finale for Good Times? And then there are shows that I think just tank series finale. Um the weirdest series finale for me, it was Seinfeld. And I tell you why. Because I actually watched it in a bar on a big screen. And again, it's a TV show, so no, it didn't quite work. Well, at least I didn't think it worked. And basically, it was a part of a comedy show I was doing. So they had a bunch of comedians on stage, and then we had to wrap up, and then everybody was able to watch the Seinfeld finale live. And I don't know, to me, it just fell flat. Granted, it stayed true to the form and the nature of the show, but maybe it was watching it on the big screen that made it fall so flat. So, I don't remember that last show. I have to watch again for Happy Days. So maybe this week we need some pop culture homework because we are going to talk those I keep wanting to say season finales because it just feels so natural, but series finales, like how shows wrapped up. And I think probably back in the 80s and even the 90s, it wasn't probably till the late 90s where shows actually had an end. Like they kind of gave you some kind of resolution or some way to kind of call it quits or end. Um, Prior to that, I think for the most part, you thought the show was going to be back next season. So sometimes that season finale wrapped it up, and it had to be the end. Let's see. Steve says lots of people weren't happy with the series finale for Seinfeld. And again, I don't know whether was the unhappiness the ending because I guess they wanted something more. Um, uh, if you watch Seinfeld, if you were a fan of Seinfeld, you knew you weren't going to get a happy ending, like like everything works out well. It was going to be, I don't know. I think them ending up in jail or the way it ended was kind of true to Seinfeld lore and Seinfeld just its humor or where it found its humor in all things. Arguably, and again, you can fight me on this, but you will be wrong. The best ever Seinfeld was The Bet. Boom. Kramer walks in. I'm out. That was absolutely the best Seinfeld. And again, I dare you to tell me any other show that was as great. Not George's wife dying, not even the shows when he worked for the Yankees. Nothing was better than The Bet. I just watched the one for Better Call Saul. Now, I and Ed, you have to help me because is it worth going back and watching it? Now I know. Now I see Kenny is back on screen, but he's got. I don't even think he's got chopsticks. He's faking it. He's got a plastic fork and some Chinese food. So I'm gonna bring him back, and hopefully things are working. Let's see what happens. Kenny, you're back. You're
You know
back.
what? I am not on my computer. I am on my phone. My phone does a better
Yeah.
job than my computer.
All right. For the Android phone coming in the clutch. I mean, it
Yes,
sounds
yes,
I mean
yes.
it sounds like a tin can, but that's quite all right.
It's the best I can do right now.
It's the best you can do right now.
Now, now,
I'm
now, now.
sorry. You know what? I've been trying to riff on my own, and I've kind of been talking about
No, I've been listening to some of it. You've been doing a good job. You're talking about Seinfeld.
I know. Well, we were talking about series finales, like when shows finish and end, and I think that might be a good topic for us for next week. And because I
Now,
know there's like Better Call Saul is what we were just talking about. Because now, Did you watch Breaking Bad, or did
I
you?
never watched Breaking Bad or Better Calls.
Now, and see, I watched a couple episodes of Better Call Saul, but I don't think I was as I didn't invest in it and really follow it,
Right.
which again, oh, welcome back, Kata, and welcome back, Kenny.
Yeah, I
Oh
can't even see
gosh,
the
how did that
comments.
series finale? Oh, you can't see the comments. Oh,
I
okay,
can't even see the comments.
that's okay. I'll show it to you. But Ed, I was asking Ed about Better Call Saul because I wanted to know whether it's worth the investment to binge some of the seasons. I don't know how many seasons there are. I probably won't be able to catch up by next week, but I didn't watch the series finale. But I was a huge Breaking Bad fan, and I think I came at it late, and I think it had already ended by the time I went back and watched. And I think I wasn't quite hooked up to the streaming services. So I actually physically had all the CDs, and I just was I'm sorry, DVDs. Gosh, showing my age. I had it on Betamax and I watched them all. But okay, but we were talking a little bit about Seinfeld. The characters in Seinfeld were a bunch of bad people. Yeah, so you knew bad things were going to happen to them in the end. So and
That's why the
yes,
last
yes, yes.
episode.
I'm assuming Ed, you're saying yes, yes, yes for watching Better Call Saul and
Yeah,
not Kenny being back.
I think that's why they all ended up. That's why I think they said they were all bad people in Seinfeld. Technically, because that's why they all ended up in jail in the last episode.
But I think because of that ending, a lot of people didn't, like that series finale. And I said, I've always been a little mixed because I was telling the story that I actually watched it at a bar on a big screen. And it's a TV show and it's meant for the small screen. And I was a part of a comedy show. So it was like, oh, let's do some comedians, then show the Seinfeld finale. And then after the finale, we had to come back up and do comedy. And it was just this odd flow and odd mix and made for an odd night. So it kind of left a bad taste for that finale in my head. So I'm the only one with that one. And Ed, you don't know how Buffy ended? And that I wouldn't say it was a disappointing ending. I was glad Buffy got that extra boost from, was it WB or CW? Because I know initially when Buffy died, that was kind of like the end for the network that it had started on, which I believe was the WB. And then I think it went to the CW. I gotta check. Yeah, I gotta check my Buffy history because oh god, I was so into Buffy and I would watch the reruns and I must have watched that series through a good 5 or 6 times. But it's just high school as hell, as the analogy is just amazing. But it ended with the destruction of the Hellmouth, and again, the only bad part I thought was that one of my favorite characters, Anya, died. And sorry, spoiler alert. Sorry about that. It would have been funny if they had got off on some technicality and all their enemies would be upset. Steve is
Yeah,
talking about Seinfeld. Like if they had gotten off, um, yeah, on some, on some kind of technicality. Um, which,
yeah.
but
Put them all
to
in.
me,
Put them all in.
that's giving them a happy ending, and no, it's like no,
I know,
they
but
are
put them
basically
all in
bad people.
jail. Put them all in jail was not sitcom comedy. It was not.
Well, and again, sitcoms, and I think they've evolved because they used to have like just kind of the happy feel good ending, like the whole you know I don't know, family ties, uh family matters, kind of everything, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, like everything works out at the end,
Good
kind
times.
of
Good
thing.
times. Everybody got money and got out the ghetto.
Yeah, good times. They all got it together. Actually, that was one of the that was one of the shows Ed mentioned earlier when we were talking about series finales, which somehow we're off on that bin tonight, even though I wanted next week's show to be about it. But maybe we can do an in-depth just talking about some of the should we do the best series finales or best or worse? Because again, like a lot of people love the ending of MASH, and that was one I remember just like, you know, and that's another thing too, because now being able to stream, like you can catch things whenever. So even though, yeah, Steve, Ed is here, Pop Culture Kids are here, but there'll be folks who might tune in later. We might even, see comments from our friend Just Samson or Scooby Life or even Hey Archer, because with streaming technology, with YouTube, with the availability of media, we don't all sit and watch at the same time. Like
No.
back in the 70s, for that week that Roots was on, I mean, stores were closed.
Yeah.
I mean, stores were closed.
Everybody was in front of the TV.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Could you imagine Newman's face? Newman. I just love it. Top 5 best and top 5 worst.
Yeah, I think
I
that's.
like it,
I think that's
Steve.
the way
I
to
like
go.
it, Steve. We have to
That's
send
the
you
way
a
to go.
link, Steve. You have to come on and tell us your top 5 best finales and top 5 worst finales. Series finales. And I guess the bad part too is those series and shows that you love and get so attached to, and then they go off or either get canceled and you don't get like the big finish or a nice tidy finish. Ed says, I thought most of the Mass series finale was dark.
It was, but it was a war.
Yeah.
It was a war.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ed says, good idea. Good idea to the top 5 best and top 5 worst. I would really have to think about it. Although I don't have to think too hard. I think the original Roseanne finale, probably one of the worst. Just expanding on the idea. Thank you. Thank you so much, Steve.
I think the Smallville finale was a big disappointment because you watched Smallville for 10 years to have him fly by in a Superman suit for 2 seconds. I loved Smallville, the show, but that finale was just, you're killing me. You're killing
me, Smalls. You're killing me.
So,
Cheers. Oh, I you know what? I'm going to have to do some YouTube research because I was a big Cheers fan and I remember Cheers, but I remember watching it, but I can't think of the series finale.
I can't think of what the series finale. I think I might stop watching it by then.
I was, because you know what, Cheers was in that group of shows, and I put Moonlighting, Cheers, Silk Stockings, X-Files, those shows that were kind of based on that romantic unrequited love, that romantic chemistry between the leads. And then once they got together, boom, that's when they jumped the shark. That's when the show's just tanked. Um, Pick a show. If it's built on that kind of romantic tension of the leads, and then they sleep together, boom, it's over.
It's over. It's
Good
over.
night.
Yeah.
Fringe, any show, just throw it out there. Bones, come on, any show. You pick the show once they
And
do it.
that even
then it's
happened.
dead.
I'll be honest with you. I watched, because of the girls.
Mhm.
And then I spent the last 15 years watching, I spent the last 15, 20 years watching kids shows. And I watched a lot of Disney shows. They had this one Disney show called Austin and Ally. And at the beginning, Austin and Ally, you knew they liked each other, but they wouldn't go out with each other because they were working together and this, that, and the other. And it was a whole woman one thing. But even with the kids, once they made them boyfriend and girlfriend, it was like, okay.
It's like, that's one sure way to it's like a formula for jumping the shark. And I know we did a jump the shark show. We might do another one, but it's got to be one of the top 3 formulas for jumping the shark. When the romantic leads, again, if the show is built on that kind of chemistry of will they, won't they, once they do, boom, it's over. The other jump the shark moment definitely is the long lost, or not long lost, but the intro of the younger relative. I call it the cousin Oliver factor. Oh God. Kitty, you don't have you can't see the comments as they pop up. But again, it's Kathy and Kitty Explain Pop Culture. It would not be a Saturday night if we did not have the obligatory reference to a certain movie from the 80s. Because, of course, Ed mentions moonlighting when I was talking about the whole thing with the couples once they get together and boom, it's over. Series finale of Space Giants was awesome. I don't even remember Space Giants.
I don't remember I remember Space Giants. I don't remember the series finale though.
Yeah, because again, I think like the whole concept of having like the big series finale or having it be like must see TV really didn't kind of evolve till like the 1990s and beyond.
Well, here's another thing too.
Mhm.
When you now you say Space Giants. Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
As you know, Power Rangers has been on for like 25 years. Since like, actually 30, close to 30 years. And
wait, does it beat the Simpsons?
I don't know. I don't think so. But in any event, the Power Rangers, after every year, they get a new set of Power Rangers. Okay. So for that season, that set of Power Rangers has a finale show. Mm-hmm. So you have like so far with the Power, like sometimes some of the Rangers have 2 seasons, some of them might have 1 season, some of the Rangers might have like maybe 2.5, 3 seasons. But every set of Rangers is a different set of Rangers from a different Ranger universe or whatever. And they have series finales when they get rid of the Rangers and bring in the new ones. So the old Rangers finish out. Like they might lose their powers. Their whole story comes to an end. Their big villain gets defeated and they get the powers back or whatever. So you have a whole bunch of series finales with the Power Rangers.
Okay. So it's I guess their season finales wind up being more like series finales.
Yeah, because one year it'll be like the Power Rangers Dino Thunder. And then when the Dino Thunders finish their mission, then the next season is Power Rangers Mystical Force. Then they finish, then it's Power Rangers Wild Force. Then it's Power Rangers Psycho Dinosaurs or whatever they want to do with it.
Okay.
So whatever new set of Power Rangers comes, like it was Power Rangers RPM, it was Power Rangers in Space, Alien Power Rangers, it was, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were the first. So whenever those Rangers stop, they do a series finale for those, and they bring in another set of Power Rangers and a different Power Ranger name. But it's always Power Rangers something. Power Ranger, Dino Thunder, Power Ranger, Mystical Force, whatever. So
Do they have a robotic voice? I'm sorry.
I know you hate the robot voice, but I'm just curious. Because there are
yeah, because some of the
or
Power
are they
Rangers,
more like
Transformers.
some of the Power Rangers have Alpha 5 as their assistant helping them out. So Alpha 5 is a robot who talks.
Can we back up? Because I don't even know where do you watch these Power Rangers? Is it on a
Power Rangers
cable
on
channel?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, so we can get Power Rangers on Netflix. Okay, I hear
Yeah, I
you.
think it's on other channels too, but I know for one, some of the older shows are on Netflix.
Okay.
But yeah. Now, I heard you before when I was in and out telling stories, and you were telling a story about me crying as a kid.
Oh yeah, I like that story.
Yeah, I
Kathy's
don't remember
clown
that story, and I think that'll be the last time we tell that story in public.
I love that story. I think I should make a
There's
video
no need
just about that story.
There's no need to tell that story to anybody.
Oh my God. You know what? See, you're not a computer, so you can't see these comments that are coming up. That Steve is saying he can't believe we're getting so close to the holiday / Die Hard season.
I love it.
Oh wait, and don't forget about Miko, the human boy, and Methuselah.
Methuselah.
Methuselah? Okay.
Yeah, he was on Space Giants. Methuselah. There's an old guy that told the
Space
Rockets what to do.
Oh, okay. See, we're
Methuselah.
because I don't know Space Giants. And would that be on that too, or
I don't know what that's on. I don't know where you can screen that at.
because to me, okay, because to me, I'm just wondering what is the best place to stream some of the old stuff. And you know me, I watch stuff in phases. So right now I'm watching season 2 of a series called Eli Stone, about a lawyer who has these visions, and here's George Michael singing Faith in his living room. Because I got faith. Anyway, I'm enjoying it with Johnny Lee Miller, who, again, speaking of pop culture, was married to Angelina, believe it or not. But again, in his most interesting role, Sick Boy in Train Spotters. But of course, you probably have not seen Train Spotting.
I've not seen Train Spotters.
Or Train Spotting.
Train Spotting. I've not seen any train movie.
Okay, I can't recommend it. I know it got a lot of buzz at one point, and when I was watching it, okay, it was about these like London heroin crack addicts, and again, it's kind of like Drugstore Cowboy, because at one point you're just like, oh my gosh, this is just too gross and depressing, and yeah, I think the one thing I did like about it was the cinematography, or the filming with the fast cuts and everything that was going on with it. But ultimately the story, I found it kind of boring, which is why I didn't even tune in for Train Spotting 2. And you can't see you can't see the comments, but Steve is saying he was Gam's friend, and Ed is saying that you definitely know your stuff, I guess, when it comes to Power Rangers as well as Space Giants, and
Yes.
I'm out of that loop, unfortunately.
I know my stuff.
Okay.
So far, from what I can see, there's nowhere to stream Space Giants on TV.
Oh, okay. So no platform for Space Giants. See,
There's no
and that to me, now, but here we go. I can't do it now, but maybe I can investigate it for next week. But evidently, if you have a VPN, you know what a VPN is?
What's a VPN?
A VPN is what's called a virtual private network, and there are several companies that do it. But some of those companies, virtual private network is a way to kind of surf the internet, and you can change your location, which makes it harder for people to kind of steal your data and mind what you do on the internet. As far as, hey, it was just funny. If I'm looking up something like MacBook batteries, and then if I go on, I don't know, some other site, all of a sudden I get an ad bar on the side and it's telling me about MacBook batteries. That used to happen to me all the time. But now that I use a VPN, I don't get that. And the particular one I use, you can actually set it for a different country. So when I do that, so that, it looks like my location is in, like, France. Then when I go into Netflix, I also get different menus and different things that I can see through Netflix, not just what I can see from my location here in the States. So for those of you who have a VPN, that's one thing that they're kind of neat, and a neat way that you can do it. Granted, you have to pay usually an annual fee, but for a lot of them, it's not that much. It's less than $100 a year. And it's just a way to keep your surfing safer. So I just thought I'd
Just
throw
so,
that
just
out
so,
there.
just so you guys know, Ultraman can be viewed for free on Tubi, Pluto, and Plex.
Okay. All right. Well, Ed says you can watch all of the Space Giants episodes for free on YouTube. Check out Kylan Shahab's channel. And again, if you go back and watch the replay, you'll see the name down there. But evidently, yeah, you can find it on YouTube, and that's where you can find so many things on YouTube. You have to be careful though, because I know if things are on there and get copyright strike, they can be taken down. Actually, I think one time when Ed was on, he was playing he was playing Die Hard, or no, it might have been Dawn of the Dead in the background, and it caused the video to get a copyright strike. So that particular episode of Kathy and Kitty, probably can't find it on, because they will take it down. So just know that if it is out there, hopefully, you can still find it, and that it won't get kind of copyright striked. All right. So Kenny, I know you had some pop culture topics to talk about in the news, but
Yes.
was there anything really pressing? Because if not, we can sign out early, because I know you're having the technical difficulties, and
No,
and the
it was
sound is a
a
little,
couple,
the sound
things
isn't
I
great.
had. There's a couple things I had
Mhm.
that I was going to talk about. One of them was that let's talk about being clueless here.
Clueless. Oh, you
Clueless.
mean
Let's
Miss
talk about
Dash?
the Stacey Dash was today years old, or this week years old, when she finds out that DMX died last year.
Oh wow.
And
Oh
she
yeah, I
did a
remember when
TikTok.
DMX died.
Yeah, she did a TikTok crying about DMX dying, and she's like a year late.
Ooh.
Stacey Dash is not.
Well, you know what? Everybody doesn't get all their pop culture news. Well,
A
that
year.
probably is the least of Stacey Dash's problems. I don't know if you've heard some of her rantings of late, but I know you usually are subscribed to different groups and different things according to your interests. At least for those of us old enough to still be on Facebook, and obviously because we're streaming, we're old enough to still be on Facebook. But one of the groups I'm in is like a Tina Marie group, and fans of Lady T. And I know they were lamenting, and they were all upset because some rapper was getting a star on the Walk of Fame, And they were all bent out of shape, saying, well, Tina Marie doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame. And you know what the weird thing is? My little Alexa, the little box or whatever, it shows all my like pictures and stuff from all my different travels. But I have a picture of Tina Marie's like star on the Walk of Fame. So I gotta find where that picture is, because evidently it's in my Amazon cloud somewhere to show it to that group. Because I'm like, dude, why are you upset because this rapper? I forgot the rapper that. Oh God, and I'm so bad at these like new rappers who was getting like a star or something, and and all the Tina Marie fans were all upset. Tina didn't get no star. I'm like, yeah, she's got a star.
Like, chill out, dude.
Chill out. Besides, anybody can get a star because they pay for them.
Yeah.
I mean, we could technically get a star if we were living that kind of life and had that kind of money. They buy them.
Also, Jane Fonda revealed that she is sick. She has a form of cancer, leukemia, I believe.
Yeah.
So let's give our prayers out to Jane Fonda, who's just been like, she's been that person since day one. Not only an actress, and not only a very gifted actress, but a very an activist in society. Jane Fonda's that activist, and I guess one of the latest things I liked her in the best, she did more than a few years ago, was Monster-in-Law. I loved her in Monster-in-Law.
Was that the one with Jennifer Lopez?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she had that.
Now I know she and Lily Tomlin have been doing a series for Is it Hulu or Netflix? I get my streamings all mixed together.
I think
Frankie,
they've done that series.
Okay, all right.
That's canceled.
So they've had a finale, or no? I guess if you're canceled, you don't get a finale.
I don't know if they canceled or they just stopped. Maybe this is their last season coming up.
Oh, do you take notes? Because if you take notes, you know what we also should do? We should do a one season, epic one season.
Yes, I totally agree.
I have 2 shows that only lasted one season, but they were epic.
Which one?
My So-Called Life and oh gosh. Oh, the one. Oh God. I'm drawing a blank on the other one, but if I tell you some of the people who were in it, James Franco, Seth Rogen, John Daly, Linda Cardinelli, Freaks and Geeks. Freaks and Geeks.
I've never seen Freaks and Geeks.
Oh my! You know what? Oh gosh, I was about to say, I should give you my DVDs, but I don't have the DVDs. You know how I watch Freaks and Geeks? I was actually at a training one week. It was almost like a math camp for adults, for math teachers, on a college university. So we didn't have TVs or whatever, or I had to take my own TV. I was about to say I rented. I didn't even rent because this was post Blockbuster. My local library, and yes, I do. I'm a card carrying public library member, used to have like a whole section of DVDs that you could take out on loan, just like books. And I had the series, I guess, it was the whole complete series because it was only one season of Freaks and Geeks that I watched that week, and it is awesome. It is worth the watch, and that one you should be able to find on a streaming service.
Freaks and Geeks could be seen on Hulu, and it can be seen on Paramount Plus. It can be seen on Pluto. And if you can buy it on Prime and Vudu.
Okay, so but Prime you'd have to pay for it.
Prime you have to pay for, but Hulu's free. Pluto's free, and if you have prescription to Hulu.
Hulu. Okay,
if you have prescription to Hulu, you can see it on there. If you have prescription to Paramount Plus, you can see it on there.
Wait a minute, Kitty. And I like TV just as much as the next person, but I don't think it's medically necessary. You mean a subscription, not a prescription.
Oh, subscription, yeah. My bad, a subscription.
Okay, hey, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to shoot it to you because again, if you're a pop culture kid, and neither one of us are wearing our shirts tonight, but that's all right. But Ed poses this trivia question, which I know the answer because I'm all about that life. But I'll give it to you
Oh,
because
this
we were
is
talking.
easy.
Oh, you
That's
know it.
easy.
Jane
Yeah.
Fonda. Oh, hold on for a second. Jane Fonda was in a movie called Barbarella. That film featured a villain that an 80s boy band, and I'm adding that extra as a hint, took the name and still uses it today. Name that band. And of course, oh, Audrey's on it.
Ed,
Duran.
Ed, you insult me. You insult me, Ed.
Yeah,
You
Duran.
insult me, Ed.
That was easy.
With such an easy question, Ed, you insult me.
That was easy. Okay, all right. I
Don't
need
insult my intelligence like
Staples
that again.
button. That was easy.
Yeah, don't insult my intelligence like that again.
Duran.
Duran.
That was, and they're still like touring. I think one guy did drop off of the band, so there's only 3 of them now. I mean, I'm sure they have other musicians and stuff to fill out the whole band aesthetic when they perform live, but they're still performing. And oh God, love me some Duran. Oh, you know what I heard the other day? Because I switched all my channels for my Sirius XM. At one point, I had it in order by genres, and then I was like, no, I need to put it in order by what I listen to the most. And so now, like, 80s is up there on the top 10. Simple Minds, All the Things She Said. I just love that band. Anyway.
Oh, that was a good song.
Simple Minds. I don't know why that came to mind, but the spelling in the movie was Durand, I think. So it had a D on the end of each word, but the boy band was Duran, Simon Le Bon, the man. And yeah, just delicious awesomeness. Anyway, this has been delicious awesome. Oh, you have one more news item?
Yeah, one more news thing. Real quick. I have another update on the WB Fiasco.
What did the WB do this time?
Well,
what did the WB be doing?
They put out a message saying that, they put out word saying that the Flash movie with Ezra Miller that they're still going to put out tested well with audiences.
Okay.
So I think it's just a ploy. They want to let you know it tested well. But
here's the thing, and I'll go to a bigger picture, a bigger example. Rock Hudson started all these movies with Doris Day and romantic comedies. That's what he was known for. That's what he did, and he did it well. You know why? He was an actor. He can act. So Ezra Miller, yeah, he's going through these issues. He's having these personal problems and, dealing with the addiction. But why should that take away or cause them not to want to put out his movie if in it he's an actor and he's doing, his job? Now, when the drugs or whatever is going on or the emotional baggage or whatever is too much that he can't do the acting, okay, then yeah, scrub him from the movie. We got to move on and get somebody else. But my point is, if you're an actor, you're paid to act. But again, get him the help he needs. Let's take care of his emotional well-being. Yeah, that's good. But why scrap the movie and throw the baby out with the bathwater? Because actors act. Carol O'Connor played Archie Bunker as the biggest bigot and racist and stuff in the world. But, hopefully people didn't think that's who he was. He was acting. Now, again, the people who can act, they just wind up playing themselves over and over again. Rock. But
shade.
But when you can act, you can act. So anyway. Okay. Ed says, oh my God, that comes from one of my favorite 80s albums by Simple Minds called Once Upon a Time. that also includes 80s hits Sanctify Yourself and Ooh,
Alive and Kicking.
Alive and okay. Anyway, wait a minute. Steve says Ed and I saw Simple Minds at the Tower, and it was an awesome concert. Oh my goodness. Oh, see, I that's the one thing I have not done. I have not done a concert, and I know we have something here in North Carolina. The Pavilion. I guess I don't know. Those places change names all the time. It might be under a different name if somebody else brought it. Who knows? But it's like a nice outdoor open arena. And again, there were about 2 or 3 concerts I saw like the year before everything, pandemic hit the fan. But one I saw outside, that was the Counting Crows one that I told you about, where they didn't do Mrs. Jones, which how you gonna not do me and Mrs. Jones and you're the Counting Crows? But
Yeah.
anyway, but they were But the opening act, there was another little local band that opened, and they were okay. I mean, whatever. It's time to get drinks and t-shirts. But the band I loved was Live, which is a Pennsylvania-based band. Live, the album Throwing Copper. Please tell me you at least know what that is, or you've heard a song or two. Selling the Drama. Even if you only know a little bit about 90s grunge, you got to know that. Get Throwing Copper by Live. I am telling you, it will change your world. It is the best. Selling the Drama. All over you, all over me. Sky. This lightning crashes. Come on, somebody. Hello. But in concert, Live is awesome. If they're coming, you got to see them. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, that's just it.
I mean,
anyway, that's more 90s than 80s, but I'm telling you, Throwing Copper, that's the album. You can go on your little Spotify, do your little Google machine, your Apple Music, whatever. That's what you need to get a hold of. Did you cricket me?
No, I didn't cricket you.
Okay. I thought you plugged up that Rodecaster and started giving me the crickets. I would be like, boy.
I'm scared to plug anything up to this computer.
What?
I'm scared to plug anything up to this computer.
Oh, okay.
Because the work is so spotty and it's. I got the Rodecaster sitting right here waiting to plug it in, and it's just like horrible.
But you're scared to do it. Well, listen. Next week we're going to talk finales. So, come up with your best 5 and worst 5. I got to think about it. I don't know. And it's hard because, I'm actually going to throw my favorite show probably on that worst list. And that is, my favorite show because you brought me, I thought I had it by my,
X-Files.
My X-Files. But that ending was so disappointing. And you know what was even more disappointing, or just kind of like I was an X-Files anticlimactic, definitely. And I was an X-Files fan, and so you had me. I'm in. I mean, I got the playing cards. I got a whole book of X-File game cards and trading cards. If they become like Pokemon and are worth something someday, okay, yeah, maybe I will retire early. I don't have to hit 60 or 65. Lord have mercy. Why do we have to work till we're 65? I ain't gonna make it. I tell you right now. But so I'm in. But that first movie after the series ended, when they came back for a movie, I mean, that made me more angry than actually the series finale, because again, the movie I wanted to see or needed to see, if they wanted to continue the mythology kind of stories, needed to be the search for William. But they were off on some other tangent that really, it was bad. I wasn't crazy about either of the X-Files movies, unfortunately. And that's a shame, because to me, they made these little hour-long movies every single week. And when they actually had the power to do the 2-hour storytelling, it just fell flat for me. That's just
Yeah,
I I ran.
I'm gonna have to put. I'm trying to figure out where in that list do I want to put How I Met Your Mother.
I and the, for the series finale, I don't know which list is going to fall on for me because
I
I mean, unfortunately, it wasn't Legend. Wait for it. Wait for it. Dairy.
Mary.
It just wasn't. It just wasn't. I'm sorry. All right, but you know what? We have previewed next week, almost previewed it to death. I've got
Yeah.
to Google Happy Days finale because I don't even like I said, I think they lost me long before we got to the finale. So I don't know. Oh, Ed, yes, that
What do you
is on
say?
my best list.
What do you say?
Did you-
What one?
Definitely.
Newhart.
Wait, right, Newhart, not the
Newhart.
Bob Newhart show,
Not the
but
Bob Newhart
Newhart.
show. The Newhart.
Newhart.
Yeah.
This is Daryl, my other brother Daryl.
Yeah. That's down.
But
It's all about down.
Newhart, yes, yes, yes. That's everything you want in a series
Yeah.
finale.
That was.
Where
Yeah. That
you know
was. That
you get a
was classic. That was classic.
that was a classic. Yep. Oh, that's a
That was
good one, Ed.
classic.
That's a good one. Oh man, now I gotta go work on my list.
Now I got to go and go through my mental Rolodex on series finales.
I know. I mentioned to you last week, there was an article, and I don't know if I can even find it again, that talked about some of the worst series finales. I don't know whether I agreed with everything they had on their list, because like they put Saint Elsewhere on that list. I don't think it was necessarily the worst. I think they were going for that kind of Bob Newhartish twist, but I don't think it was the worst. And
Well,
then there was some
Saint Elsewhere was before. Saint Elsewhere, I think, ended before Newhart.
right.
Yeah.
But they had it on as the worst, and I don't think it was the worst. You know, as far as delivering what fans and what you know
Yeah.
what people wanted, because to me, like I said, one of the fun things of it. Oh, there's another series that, again, I told you a couple weeks ago, I had been binging this series called Burn Notice that I used to watch on USA a
Yeah. I
lot.
remember.
And
Yeah.
then I kind of lost interest in it, but I actually went back to watch the final season and that series finale. Now, the one fun thing I like, and I like this in TV shows and movies, I love Easter eggs. And that's when you give the fans something that they'll recognize. Like, I don't need to hunt for the Easter eggs. Don't make me work because it's TV and I'm supposed to be relaxing and enjoying myself. But a fun Easter egg in the Burn Notice finale is that there are a couple of lines that are spoken in the introduction. Like every week, it's the same introduction. My name is Michael Western. I used to be a spy, blah, blah. And then they show little clips of all the people in his life, trigger happy ex-girlfriend. Should we shoot them? Or, a friend who used to inform on you to the FBI. Spies, a bunch of bitchy little girls or whatever. But in the series finale, all the lines that you've heard all through the 5 or 6, 7 seasons, these characters say at the beginning, they worked it into the script of the series finale. So it made for a nice little Easter egg and a nice little fun thing for fans of that show. So I think when the writers, the creators of these shows do those things to kind of reward the fans, I think that's a cool and fun and important thing. And that's what makes a top like series finale.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
we're
hope they
going
do
too
it
much.
with like Walking Dead, huh?
Yeah, we're going too much into next week.
I'm sorry. You know what? I was riding solo for so much today. I was just like, oh,
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
know. I get it. I totally get it. I totally
Like my
get it.
juices are going, and Newhart, that's probably going to be the start of my list because I love that series
Okay.
finale. And we'll see if we can find some clips and how much of them we can show without getting scuffed off the air. But with that said, we want to thank you, Pop Culture Kids, for hanging out with us. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, all those YouTubey, Facebooky kind of things that people do. We appreciate it if you do it for us. And we will see you here next week. Will we be back at 8:30, you think, Kenny? Or
Yeah.
If things are plugged in and everything's working and everything's going in the right direction.
Yeah, we're gonna advertise a little earlier for it, but yeah, we're gonna have we'll be here 8:30.
Oh, thank you so much, Steve. And thank you, Steve, Ed, Audrey, all of our Pop Culture Kids for tuning in, hanging out with us on a Saturday night. Oh, yeah.
As you are wont to do, we are glad that you are here.
I'm sorry. I know Kenny hates the voices.
I love the voice.
This is my favorite toy. I love the voices.
I mean, why would you not like the voices? The voices can be very soothing.
Or the voices can be very annoying.
Okay, so
The voices are just the voices.
yeah, so
The
okay,
voices can
everybody.
be robotic.
Yeah, I don't have the button to power this off. Join us next week as we talk about finales, the 5 best, 5 greatest. We're going to do that next week. And in the meantime, in between time, God bless your soul and keep living. Come back next week for some finales and pop culture news. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.